Hey guys, welcome to Quinn's Tree Farm, coming to you straight from the power of YouTube right from Quinnville, Maine. Might as well get those earplugs out. We're here today at the worldwide headquarters and we're going to do a little bit of interplanting. What is interplanting? Well, that's where you plant seedlings in between grown Christmas trees. And what we're going to do here is try to replace the trees that have been cut out so that we can have a circular revolving field, as opposed to block planting where you clean out a whole crop and then replant the whole thing over. I'm using the auger this year to follow up. I really like it. I think it works much better than the planting bar, especially with these big 3-2 transplants that have a really solid rootstock. And I've come up with a couple of tricks to the auger that seem to help me not rip my arms off, get a good depth, and keep going. So stick around and let's get to work. Okay guys, so the first thing I do is I'm going to line myself up in the row. I'm not resetting rows in the interplanting fields because that wouldn't make sense, and I'll end up mowing straight through and then we'll have the set rows that are already there. I don't love the width of these fields, but once you have a field established, it's really difficult to reset it because you have to wipe it off the map completely, get all the stumps out, and then flip it, and you're out for 7 to 10 years. Get your grid pattern set, do your math, figure out what is best for you, because you're going to be stuck with it. I have found that the auger works really good on these 3-2s. I can get the rootstock in, I get better root to soil contact. That's what makes trees grow, is that root to soil contact. The compaction of the soil is rather removed. And keep in mind that fir trees typically are only growing in the first 6 to 12 inches of soil. Fir trees, by and large, are not deeply rooted trees. So when I'm digging my auger holes, I'm not going very deep, 12 inches or so. So I just keep an eye on where I want the auger to be. So I'm only going like to this point. When I hold the auger, I keep my eye on the row so I'm not stepping out of line, because that would be bad. I have the throttle in my right hand, which spins this way. So if the auger head is spinning this way, you want to be prepared on your left side. So the first thing you do is get your cell phone out of there so you don't smash it against your legs. Some people hold the auger against their hip so it doesn't spin. I have found that when I loosely go into the ground, I can almost feel what the ground is like. Is it rocky? Are there roots there that are going to hook in and be a problem? The other thing that I notice is, what is the soil looking at the top? If it's a brand new stump that was cut last year, the anchor root is going to be strong. There's a good possibility that that's going to take to the auger and take it for a spin. You could kind of feel the rocks in there as you're going along. So if you've got really rocky soil, you know, brace yourself. Either brace yourself or get into a position where you can let go of that and it's going to spin out on you. Once I get the hole drilled, out it comes. I pick up, I swing the auger up, 2 steps. 2 steps for me is about as close to 5 feet as I can get, and it's saving me a ton of time as to laying a string out or actually measuring 5 feet. Who cares if they're 5 feet on the dot? Do the trees grow any different if they're 5 feet on the dot? No, they don't. And that's how I drill auger holes. I thought I had my measuring tape in my truck, but I don't. So as you can see, that's a pretty good spacing, right? So is it 5 feet perfect? No, maybe not. Some are closer than others, but that's how I have done it. So we're gonna put Fraser in this front section of the field, and I think they'll work good. The soil is pretty well drained up here, pretty dry. I find a little tree shelter for the box of seedlings. These are 2-2 Fraser's Barkies, Spartanburg. Heard good things. People seem to like them. One thing I like is I like this cardboard box, garbage bag, plastic bag. It retains the moisture. The moisture can't evaporate out. When I get into the field, today is sunny and 65. Gonna tuck them in one of these overgrown tree areas that I haven't cut out. Keep them as moist as I can so they don't dry out while they're out here. I'm gonna grab a handful, put the plastic bag back over them, and I'm gonna get a couple into the ground. On a day like today, I'll only lay out maybe 10 or 20, where if it's pouring rain, I might lay out the whole field, and then I'll put my head down and we'll go to work. I'm wearing my gloves so I don't get my hands dirty, but I gotta work tomorrow, and I don't think the patients, if I have any, would appreciate dirty hands. And no matter how hard you wash, you gotta scrub and scrub and scrub to get them clean. So basically, I'm just gonna grab a handful, and we're just gonna put them into the ground. I just do that. See, so like I said, I'm not gonna go very far because even though they're underground, the sun is gonna kind of beat down on them. And I just find the holes that I've made, put them in, and when my handful's out, I'll put them in the ground. Okay, so I want to move fairly quick. Like I said, that April sun's beating down. Believe it or not, the April sun has the same declination as the sun in mid-August. So from a radiant heat position standpoint, it's pretty solid. It's pretty high up in the air. Long, a couple of long roots, not terribly long. I just put them in the ground. And what I do is I just kind of flatten them out, cover them up, and kind of tuck that. I've been told that tucking it to one side of the hole is helpful. And there we go. I actually crawl across the field. Why do I crawl across the field? Because 6 feet 4 inches is a way up in the air, and my old bones don't like it. I have found that if I bend over and then I stand up real quick, I get really lightheaded and start to see all the stars in the sky. And again, 6 feet 4 inches is a long way to tip over too, so I don't like doing that. Now look here, I got this stump here. I don't care, I think it's a great idea. I'm gonna tell you what I think about stumps. Anybody else can tell you what they think about stumps. I think they're good. This is gonna rot out. Why are we gonna get rid of any natural organic material that's gonna rot out and provide nitrogen and all the good things that grew this tree are right there? So I don't worry about stumps. I go right past them. And again, I don't particularly worry about twigs and other stuff like that. This is gonna go right in. That stuff will provide nutrients to the tree as it rots out, good material for the tree as it grows, hopefully maybe protecting for frost outs and things like that. And I really just don't worry about it. This is weird. I skipped that. Why did I skip that? I probably skipped it because I didn't think that I was going to be able to get a 5-foot spacing on either side of the tree. And I'd rather have a gap there until that tall tree gets out of the way. One of the things that happened in this field, I don't know what Bryant was thinking when he was measuring these out, but they're tight. They're too tight. And I'm going to have to pull out a ton of trees as tabletops this year to get the spacing right. So I'd rather just move past it. If it's not there, if it's not ready, we'll move past it and we'll hit it again. Down in the hole, tuck in, ready to go. Here's a good example of long roots and what to do. So I've seen some videos in the tree growers. One guy was digging 36-inch holes with his auger, and it's like, I have a hard time hooking onto that. And the reason being is, like I said earlier, these roots are only gonna be 6 to 8 inches on the ground. They don't need to go 36 inches in the ground. The other thing is, what do you have for nutrients 36 inches in the ground? When we do soil samples, when we plant, we're only getting the top 6 to 10 inches of soil to get our nutrients in, right? It comes down from the top and they get into that clay, and that's not topsoil, that's not growing soil, it's clay. So what I do is I just try to make sure that everything is straight and there's no stringers that are gonna be outside of the hole. I don't want them to dry out, but then I just get them in there, I kind of spread them out, and I guarantee that soil contact. And for me, I have had really good results with that. So yeah, that's kind of that. I'm gonna go ahead and finish this planting profile, take some pictures of it as it's done, and I'm gonna call it a day for you guys because it's really difficult to plant and videotape, and it's supposed to rain a lot next week, and I wanna get as many trees as I can in today. So as much as I love you guys, you gotta go home because I got work to do. Really good April so far. You know, I'd really rather feel bad in Maine than feel good anywhere else. So there you go, my friends. I'll see you soon.